By the way, Jim Harbaugh told Dan Patrick that he texted Sherrone Moore after everything went down. Like, isn't that a phone? And it's a phone call type deal. I thought like I was like I think this is a I think it's a phone call, right? Maybe, and then if he doesn't get it, then it's a text, right? This is phone call status, and trust me, I'm the first guy to hide behind a text or just because the phone can feel like it's 500 pounds sometimes. But like, I think this is a phone call deal. That's just me. Jim Harbaugh, obviously wildly successful as a coach and at life. So what do I know? But that's the one thing that jumped out to me about that. Another thing about this, as we learn more about this, right? You learn more that this affair was alleged to have gone on for years, and that is you want to talk about powerful people feeling invincible. And I think Michigan, and I'm not saying like, oh, this is another deal where a guy like Paul Catalina likes to throw around like Ward Manuel's name because he knows the name of the AD. Ward Manuel, Tony Petiti. We got to get Catalina's Tonight Show going soon. Oh, I can't wait to see what happens with that. Anyways, Ward Manuel is Michigan's athletic director. And under I guess on his watch, you would say, there's been a ton of stuff that's happened with this Michigan program. The Connor Stallions thing, then the Jim, remember the sign stealing, then the Harbaugh stuff. Then, Sherrone Moore was expected to be, I think he was suspended this year for a game because he was linked to that. And I think maybe he had another game coming just like on that suspension. I could be wrong there, but like there's been a lot of stuff that has gone down at Michigan, which has cast a dark cloud over the university, but it also gave a feeling of invincibility around the university. Like if you're Sherrone Moore and you're having this affair, you've got to be drunk on some kind of bullshit, right? That makes you think that you can continue to carry on this extramarital affair with a woman who works in your department. Rumors are everywhere, like wildfire, that you are carrying on with this younger individual who works for you. Like this isn't like, and I was thinking this morning because I heard Mitch Albom and Jeremy Schaap talking about this. Like, you want to talk about a couple qualified dudes to talk about. And this is what I think, by the way, sports journalism is missing now. As much as, and I think everybody was really fair in the way they handled this, right? Like, let's say the guys from On3, like I was watching Andy Staples when this happened. And he was really clear to be like, look, we're going to talk about the football side of this. We can't really get into what's going on off the field because we don't know. And not like that's not what those guys do at On3. Maybe Pete Nakos a little bit, or Nakos. He does a great job, whatever he does. But maybe that's more down his alley. I don't know. But a guy like Jeremy Schaap, right, and Mitch Albom, well, they eat this stuff up. They will bring to life or to light more on situations like this. And the invincibility around the Michigan program and that feeling of invincibility where it's almost like you're intoxicated can lead to behavior like this. Like, like a lot of times we see this with athletes and, you feel you're treated differently, right? Because of what you can do on a certain field or court. The same thing goes for coaches, right? Like you're treated differently than the average person in society. Now, I will say that sometimes football, basketball, sports in general get a bad rap. For example, when you say, okay, well, Sherrone Moore's not the first, look at Bobby Petrino, look at Mel Tucker, look at Rick Pitino, and it's like, okay, hold on for a second. Look at CEOs all across America. Like, I don't like when we just, okay, this is just like these sports coach animals. Like, no. Wherever there's money, power, and a lot of success, there is an opportunity for a person to get over their skis with intoxication of self, right? Like, I can do no wrong. And if I do wrong, I got a million people behind me who are going to make wrong go away. And like, I don't think that's like specific to sports. I don't like that at all. In fact, I hate it when they try to paint coaches in a corner, like, we're some kind of animal, like, or they're some kind of animal. Like, I'll tell you, a lot of guys in the business world, like you would think, right? Your initial inclination is to think, well, a guy that's successful in business and, owns a major company. Well, he's got tact. He's got class. He's polished. No, that's not it. Life is messy. People that are in position. Maybe you could look at the White House sometimes. Just saying. All right. I'm not trying to start anything, but right. It's the most powerful person you could say in the world. A little rough around the edges. I think we can all agree on that, whether you're in or you're out. So to paint it like, oh, these are just football coaches, let's pump the brakes there. But now let's go back to the stupidity. Because I sat here and I said, about this Sherrone Moore thing. Well, would I have done it? And I say, well, I've never been the head coach of Michigan. I can promise you, if I was the head coach of Michigan before I got sober, I would have Sherrone Moore. I would have said, hold my beer. Watch this. Okay. So again, not like in my lifetime, I wasn't capable of something like this or worse. Right. But there have been changes that have taken place in my life, drastic changes, like 15 years ago, that have put me in a position where, I would really hope I don't even flirt with any kind of mistake like that. Right. That being said, this guy talk about failing the idiot test. Okay. You want to know about that thing that we say is undefeated? I mean, you could say that that's undefeated, but you can also say stupidity in this degree is undefeated. Bill Parcells used to say his dad had this amazing quote, and it's simple, but it really applies to Sherrone Moore here. I think it's like, when you look at a situation like this, you say, Parcells' dad used to say to him, don't discount stupid, dude, because it's always in there somewhere. And this brash stupidity, right, where this guy's biggest problem came when the girl broke up with him on Monday. Like, you would think, right, if you're having an illicit affair with someone and you're married, you have 3 kids, and you're the head coach of, whether they're transactional or it's transactional or not, you still got young men who you are a leader of, right? Like 17, 18-year-old kids, dude. Like, worst example ever you're setting. Okay, I get it. You made a mistake, but you carry on this affair for years, and your biggest issue comes when you get dumped. That's when everything comes to light, because you go bananas. So I like this. I try to keep a real, thoughtful perspective on this, but at the more and more I learn about that. And then he texted the OnlyFans girl after he got out. Like, bro, don't do that. That's like relationship 101. First of all, that girl's not looking for a text from you, so don't send her one. And 2, how is that going to bring that? That is, again, self-will run riot. Let me do something that will affect change in the situation. You're out of moves, Jack. That is very clear here. So I would stay away from firing off unsolicited texts to randos that are on OnlyFans, right? That's just that's the one thing the judge didn't tell him to do, or didn't tell him not to do. But I guess and that seemed like that judge covered everything. But he didn't cover that. The judge should have been like, don't get on social media at all. Like a parent putting their 14-year-old to bed. I'm letting you go upstairs to the phone, but don't get on social media. We didn't know he needed that, but apparently he did. So this is a bummer. We haven't heard any of this guy. We haven't heard his side of it. But it's the more you learn, the more you're just like, what in the world? At some point you got to just say whatever happened to crazy, that might be it, So, the situation sucks, but I have been thinking that stuff, and it's certainly worth sharing it for you guys. And then he goes over to the girl's house, by the way, and tells her that her blood is going to be on his hands. I haven't talked about this yet. My blood is on your hands. You ruined my life. No, she didn't. You ruined your life. And I get it in the moment. that rage and that insanity can take over temporarily. But I hope he's sitting now with a clearer perspective, being like, yeah, this is my bad. I'm sure he is, to be honest with you. That's an easy one. But we're back to football tomorrow and maybe a little bit of shenanigans. Sean Alexander is going to join us. Yeah, that's right. That's Sean Alexander, number 37. Alabama great. MVP of the National Football League with the Seattle Seahawks. Talking some smack about Alabama, Oklahoma. By the way, our Teddy Lehman interview is up to like 11,000 views. So good for you, Sooners fans. We've gotten a lot of subs out of that, and I appreciate you guys joining the party. Everybody else can join the party too. Just go to the Pete Souza Show page. You can watch all the interviews, all the videos. A lot of fun stuff going on around here at Rogue Media Network. Scotty and I are going to dinner tonight because I'm going to pay off my Bill Belichick loss.
I plan to recap that tomorrow, by the way.
Okay, that's a great idea.
Do you want to make a bet on a college football bracket too?
Yeah, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I'll do like double or nothing.
Let's go.
But we're still going to dinner tonight.
No. I'm not double or nothing.
Right.
I want my meal tonight.
All right, Diamondbacks, here we come. The Pete Souza Show is presented by Slovaceks. We will see you tomorrow.